All right, we're live. So I'm just coming up for a little bit. It's the end of the day. Long day. We're heading out to Orlando tomorrow. Should be doing some stuff from there, some videos. Been busy making some videos for 4 channels now. So we did one today for this channel, the What's New at the Record Store. Did one for my daughters. She got this weird Orby thing from Costco, so we did a video on that. And then, I did the chicken Big Mac on my Strange Brew reaction, so that's out. And then I have No Country for This Man, and where I just do like daily, just record myself daily and have daily conversations and things like that. It usually gets done at the end of the night, but I'm trying to figure that one out. I like where people get up in the morning, kind of start the day off, and have a calm conversation. So I'm trying to do that with the other channel. This one's just for fun. See where the other one goes. See if one of these channels takes off in any direction. So far, I have like 4 videos on that channel, and nothing's happening. So, but I'm still in the process of eliminating some records. I did bring some in recently, but nothing crazy. Got some blues and jazz and things like that. But yeah, we'll be in Orlando tomorrow, so I'll be filming out there. I've got some ideas coming up. Got some ideas. I still need to do Alex's video. I have that written down to do, but I won't be able to do that till like next week. Where are my new ideas? Yeah, Alex is one where he has the best year in music. And then I'm going to open my third box of the folk singer box set there, where I've had issues with the first 2. So I'm going to do that one. Then I have a sealed glass house that's supposedly from 80. So I'm going to open that bad boy up and see what's up. See how it does. And I'm doing this one because, I know Billy Joel's career really well, more than any artist. He made it nice and easy for me with his limited number of albums. I want to really look at his 10 best compositions, meaning more complex songs, Scenes from Italian Restaurant, different things like that, where the arrangements. Yep, no hat, man. I'm going natural. You're lucky I'm wearing a shirt tonight. That's right. You gotta keep it real every once in a while and show that the top of that head. There you go. So, yeah, the hat thing's kind of stupid, right? I don't know. I don't know why I wear it. Who gives a crap? I just don't like the lighting because I have hair up here, but the lighting makes it look like that's not real. But it actually feels better not wearing a damn hat, So, yeah. And if anybody wants to come up and just chat, I'm just chilling out tonight. I might have a little drink. I got this cool cup. Yeah, Rocket, exactly. Phil Collins wasn't afraid of it. Exactly. Yeah, and Billy. A lot of rock stars right now. But we were at Disney 2 weeks ago, and I had this cool R2D2 cup I just couldn't pass. I don't know if you can see it that well, but it's pretty killer. So I had to get that. That's my current drinking glass. But yeah, I listen to some new stuff. I'm on a Stevie Wonder kick right now. I don't even know what really started it, but he had that classic period where it was like 5 albums in around 5 years. and it started with Music of My Mind, I think, was the first one. And then, yeah, it says Magic Kingdom like alcohol. Exactly. Especially at Epcot. Epcot is just adult world, especially when they have like a food and wine festival thing going on. Yeah. Just if I can get out there with the wife and the kids can stay off somewhere else, that's even better. 9 years ago, I was seeing Stevie do songs in the key. Oh man, see, I'd love to see him live. And I just listened to this song. I think it's might be a year old at this point. It was a single he put out. I was thinking the other day that there's nobody really talking about like the state of the world and really, like back in the day we had protest songs and listening to these Stevie albums. One thing I want to make note of is they're just supposed to be 5 albums, and to be his classic period. And I think what they're doing is where he went over from Motown to that subsidiary of Motown, the Tamla Records, gave him a lot of control over his music. But there was one last album on Motown that he did. My friend's like, you got to listen to this album. It's really good. It's kind of like the beginning of it. And it was the Where I'm Coming From, that one. And holy crap, I listened to that one today. And it's giving these other ones, Intervisions, all that stuff, a run for their money. It's really good. Actually, I do my rating system, and so far it's the top one. So I'm going to have a little fun with this. I'm going to look at the classic period, maybe call it like classic period +1, because I really think that one did start it off. But it started with that album and then went up to Songs in the Key of Life. And it kind of dropped off a little bit from what I hear. But I've listened to, I think I'm up to Intervisions right now. No, I'm on Fulfillingnesses right now. Finishing that one up, and then I'll do Songs in the Key of Life, which, I know I love that album all the way, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, it's but I'm going back to it, listening to the lyrics and everything, and he always really interesting writing too on some of these songs. There was one I was listening to today that really stuck out, where he's talking about social issues. What was that one called? And he gets, he kind of gets like a little silly, or it keeps it lighthearted, I guess. I wouldn't say silly, but keeps it lighthearted with the way he sings it, but he's talking about something pretty deep. Let's see, Stevie Wonder. What was that song? I think it was What I Want to Talk to You. Yeah, I Want to Talk to You. Addresses poverty, racism, perception of life through magazines. There's a line in there that's pretty cool. And he's talking about like I guess like a white guy talking to him. I called you Steve when you were among my friends. You could have supper with me next week, and after that, you can mow my lawn. So keeping up appearances. Hey, I get along with people that aren't my color, but you're gonna, still gonna treat you when nobody's paying attention. Treat you the way I treat you. Says my world can be true if you do what I tell you to do. To pick up life at the table, and I'm wondering if he's meaning Life magazine. Pick up life at the table, read about the way I could be, but I know I just ain't able, so I read about the real me. So I'm assuming he educates himself and reads books, maybe like James Baldwin or something like that. Who knows? But really, he had an interesting way during that period of time to talk about social issues, much like Marvin Gaye did and What's Going On. But Stevie, God, it's just good. The music's good. All of them are getting like top ratings. I can't find the first one. I called the record store, and their distributor doesn't have that first one where I'm coming from. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure out how I can get a hold of that one, and I'll have to call another record store because I know they use different distributors. So I'm gonna find out if they can get a hold of that. But I'd think it'd be cool to put out a box. See, I'd be afraid if they put the box out, it'd only be the 5 albums. But man, if they put a box out of those 6 albums, man, that would be so good. That's really, really digging it. There we go. How to keep people entertained. But yeah, so looking forward to just getting away. Between the 2 hurricanes, finally got the house in order, and then by the time we get the house in order, now it's time for the probably hear that really well because I'm pouring that next to the mic. Holidays. So we're starting to pull stuff down from the attic. We have a sunroom, so I'm getting that prepared, moving things around. So because we entertain everybody comes to our house. So I want to have the room just ready. So like Thanksgiving's not too crazy. My wife's really busy in the kitchen, but I go out and I get the turkey, the deep fry the turkey, which I've heard. I don't know if it's a Canadian thing or if it's just a Rob up in Northern Revolution, but he was not thrilled with me frying the turkey. He's like, oh my God, blasphemy. So I don't know if I don't know. I'd have to ask him about that. I never did ask him what it was, what he meant. So yeah, so getting ready for the holidays, doing all that. Definitely slowed down on the record buying. I did purchase some stuff, but I've got a lot of stuff going out. But I'm careful about what I'm picking up. But I picked up like a Duke Ellington with Coltrane. It was Duke Ellington with Coltrane. I picked up a blues album, John Lee Hooker, his first one, The Blues House or something like that. Has a really cool picture on the front with him sitting on the front porch. And it's considered his first album, but it has a lot of, I guess he had a lot of singles out first, and they put them all together and popped them on this album. I got the Cure's new one, which I like a lot. I only have 2 Cure albums. I don't know how much more I'm going to venture out. I need to stream some of their stuff. But I have Disintegration and the new one. Forgot the name of it. Star or something. I don't know. But I had boy, who should be doing this? Yawning. I had Pornography, and I know a lot of people like that, but I don't know. Pornography just didn't really do it for me. Just something about Disintegration. I don't know if it was just all the music and the atmosphere and the feel of that album, but this new album gives me that feel of Disintegration. So I'm really, really digging it. I'm trying to see. I don't know if I have to have like a membership, like pay for StreamYard to. I know there's a way to look at YouTube while I'm doing this stream because there's a way to knock people out. Let me see. I'll bring this volume down. So I wonder if I can, is this how you do report, remove, go to channel, report, remove, pull, put, oh, there's the timeouts, and I can hide people. Okay, but how do I make people a moderator? I have to figure that out, how you do a moderator thing. To give you the wrench, I don't see that part. Channel activity, go to channel, report, remove, put user in timeout, hide user on this channel. Yeah, I don't know how. I don't think I can do it from StreamYard. Put user. Well, at least I know how I can get rid of the comments off of it. If anybody knows how to do the wrench thing, that'd be cool to know. Right now, all I'm doing is going over to YouTube. Oh, you know why? Because I'm not signed in I'm signed in as my other channel on there. So let's see if that makes a difference. Man, whoever's watching, let me know what you're up to. Let's see. Oh, there it is. I can add as a moderator. So I'm going to add, just to play around, I'm going to add Sam as a moderator. Managing moderator can manage blocked words and change chat modes in live. Can review and remove chat messages. I'm going to give you a standard right now, Sam, until you earn the managing. So does that give Sam the wrench? My first wrench. That's awesome. There we go. Hey, man, how are you? You know, I know you from all the other channels, and I guess we just call you Vaginal. Or is there a nickname you like to go by? But I've seen you around, and I'm glad to see you here. I like your sense of humor. So if that's what you want to go by, that's what I'll call you. But if you have a nickname or whatever, I'll go by that. And if you're a good boy on here, I'll give you the second wrench. I'm figuring out this wrench thing. But what have you been up to? Getting any new purchases or anything in the album world? I'm not even that, like, I know you. I see you all the time through different chats. But I don't even know if I really know what kind of music you're into or anything. So whatever you want to share, that's cool. But yeah, I'm just kind of winding down from the day, just seeing who's up and having a calm chat. No politics, no religion, just music or whatever is going on in your life or day. It's cool. But we kind of had a little scare there. We thought there was another hurricane that was going to be brewing out there. And we looked at the spaghetti model, and the spaghetti model was like all over the place. It was from the bottom of Florida, the Keys, and then all the way up to the Panhandle. I was like, great. But it looks like it kind of just fizzled out. So that was good. Yeah, didn't want another one of those, especially, we're getting ready to go on vacation. We've got people staying here, house sitting for us and taking care of the animals. And gives us an opportunity to just get out and relax, after the hurricanes and all that, hit the theme parks. We're going to hit, Disney and all that stuff. Supposedly Magic Kingdom already has all their Christmas stuff up. So my wife wants to see that. So pretty cool. My daughter goes over to the Hollywood Studios and checks out the Star Wars world. She loves Star Wars. And she has a BB-8 remote control robot. So she plays, if other kids are around, they have their robots interact and stuff. So there's a lot to do. And it is nice when the weather's nice. You can enjoy it. See, we don't go during the summer. We actually have passes that are like just during the week and blocks out the summer. I think it blocks out like 1 week during spring break. Can't remember if it blocks out anything during Christmas. I don't know, something like that. But we figured we were just wasting our money with season passes that went into through the summer, because me, out of everybody in the family, I was the most miserable. I don't like being hot, and just sweating the whole time, and it doesn't put me in a good mood, So we backed that off a little bit. But yeah, I was talking about the albums I picked up recently. So I picked up The Cure, the John Lee Hooker, the Duke Ellington, and Coltrane. It has been a while since I picked up like that much of variety, different genres. It's been a lot of pop music for a while. What was the other one I picked up? Well, I got the Tom Petty one, and that was really good. The double with all the extra, Long After Dark, has all the extra stuff on it. And the second album is, I swear, just as good as the album itself. Like, really enjoy that one. So, when I got the Highwaymen, that album from the 80s with 80s? Yeah, it was 80s. With, Cash, Christopherson, Jennings, and Willie Nelson. So picked that up. Actually like that album a lot. And that's what I'm going for in my collection right now. I need to like the album all the way through, have it on, where I can just enjoy an album and not go, I got to trudge through a song. Yes, this has been a hot topic right now. New vinyl prices are too high right now, waiting for them to go down. Now, do you think they've gone up? I guess. I mean, how much have they gone up? Um, I am noticing some new releases, single albums, even like the Bon Jovi greatest hits, and it was, I believe it was just one album, and they wanted like $34 for that. Um, but I'm noticing other ones, and maybe they're less popular. I don't know, but they're still like at that $22 mark. Um, but yeah, I have to look. I need to really think about it. You're in Canada. Canada's always really expensive, right? Which kind of sucks. Got 30 to 40% over the past 2 years. Really? Huh. And do you find that a difference between like the popular artists? Um, is it that like there's certain artists I notice they're always expensive, like the Smiths. Every time the Smiths come in, and it's the what's the album that I have? Uh, what's the freaking album? The Queen is Dead. Every time that comes in, that sucker is like a high 30 something. It's a single album, but every time it comes in, that's how much it's priced. But somebody buys it. Um, and another one, The Weeknd. I would like to have. I don't think I'd liked all the Weeknd stuff, although I haven't listened to a complete album. But I like his sound, and I think he's a person where I want the greatest hits. But his are like in the 40s. It's a double album, but still, it's like 40 something bucks, and I'm like, that's insane. So I know how it works. You have the distributors, and they're going to have their price, and then obviously the record store has to bump it up a little bit to make their profit. But really, I haven't really asked over at the record store, but from my understanding, the big money's not in the new stuff. They don't make that much. Now, I don't know what that means, what the difference is, but I know they make more money on used stuff because, a lot of times they can buy, 50, 100 albums for, a decent, whatever price. I don't want to get into their business, but I've seen what they do. And, a lot of times they can do 2 albums, 3, sometimes 1 album, and it covers everything they bought that whole collection for. And a lot of times they'll take a lot of stuff that's, just to get records off people's hands. They'll buy some stuff that's not desirable. Like we saw this collection the other day, and there's probably, let's say, 50 records in there. And probably 20, if that, maybe 18, 20 were good, like we, where we just kind of said, oh, this is a good title, put it off to the side. And then the rest were like, and it's not a knock on any of these artists, but they're not in demand. Like Barbara Streisand, Seals and Crofts, stuff like that. Some really old stuff that just, it's going to end up where they put it in the tent sales, where they sell albums for, 3 for $5 or whatever they do for that. But yeah, they actually had a nice copy of Every Picture Tells a Story. Rod Stewart. Can never find a clean copy of that, and this was clean. But last time I was in the record store, they still hadn't closed the deal on it. So got my eye on that one. I pulled it out again and looked at it, and it's nice. It's clean. Doesn't mean it won't have pops, but it's a clean record, so the pops can always be hopefully washed out of there. So I've got that one on my radar. But again, I am trying to get more out of here. And then I know I've got maybe 6 records that I've requested, I guess you could say, for Record Store Day coming up. Especially there's a Doors one. I wasn't going to get it, but then it's Rhino. And I'm like, well, if it's Rhino, I don't. They put out good stuff. So I'm like, man, I had to go for that one. Because I have the other Doors and it's, kind of bad quality. But I'm picking up the Charlie Patton. Hopefully it'll be a decent recording. I have a Charlie Patton, but it's really old, and so I'm hoping even if the quality isn't really great on the Charlie Patton, at least I won't have pops and clicks. Hoping. I did have an issue with the Cure. I picked up the independent record store colored variant of that when it came out. Got it home, and it was popping and clicking all over the place, and there was like a film. It almost looked like a water stain on the album, on the vinyl. And so I knew that was a problem. And when I played that side, it was a lot of clicks and pops and muddiness in there. But the record store was cool. I called them. I don't like doing returns, because I know these people personally and I want them to do well. But I talked to a lady over in Dunedin at D&J Records, and she said, no, they work pretty well with her. Just bring it in, no problem. So she traded it out for me. I got just a standard black vinyl version of the Cure. It played great. So I was really happy that worked out. Let's see. The last few Doors live releases had pretty, it seems. So I'm hoping Rhino's not just scraping the bottom barrel. They've got something that sounds good. And I don't know if this was the stuff. Have you ever heard that stuff that I forgot where it was, if Hendrix was playing somewhere and Jim Morrison came up or something like that. There's been CDs and stuff of it, and Morrison's out of his mind during the whole thing, and he's really making some sexual references and things like that with Hendrix. I forgot there's a classic line in there too, or something he said. It was crazy. Yeah, the Paris one, though, I want to say that one wasn't too bad. I know, because there was an original song by the Doors on that one, I believe, is like the first song or something. And actually, Krieger or Manzarek? Might have been Manzarek, who found the cassette and was playing it, and then he had like a young child that came by and hit the record button and took a part of it out, but they were able to patch it all back together somehow. And that was a good song. I can't remember what the heck it was. I have to look that up now. Not funny, like there's good songs on there and you're like, oh, what the freak was that song? So I have to go look at it. But it was Paris something. I like the artwork on it, and I think that one wasn't too bad. The worst I've probably picked up at Record Store Day, in my experience, was what do you call it? The Art Blakey one. But it kind of worked out for me, where I don't mind it actually, because it's really recorded bad. You don't hear all the band at the same time, and that does suck for jazz. But what I liked is a lot of the times wherever they had the microphones, you could hear his drums, and I'm a Blakey fan, and so this really just put the drums out there for me, and I enjoyed the heck out of that. So I keep it for that reason. So we'll see what it was. I know a lot of people weren't really thrilled about the picks for this one. I thought there was some good stuff, a lot of artists that I've never heard of. I'm even going to pick up that Scarlett Johansson because I'm a Tom Waits fan and I like her voice. So I'm like, I'm going to go for it, see what happens. But, it is interesting. When you go on the Record Store Day website, they give you some information. But I think there's a lot of issues with quality control. Like that Cure album that I got, it shouldn't have, for a new album and you're paying 30 something bucks for it, you should not have to worry about it having pops and clicks in it for a brand new album. When there are some artists where there's like completely consistent with what you get, like Neil Young, a lot of the stuff he's putting out, I don't know of any where I have cracks and pops on any of his releases. So he's making sure the quality's there, whoever he put in charge of it. Hendrix, I've had really good success with his albums as far as new releases and new vinyl. A lot of the jazz, most of my Tone Poets, no problem. Who else? Yeah. Well, and the Billy Joel, I'd like to see them really remaster his stuff. I don't think they really remastered it or anything when they put out the box set, the collections that they did, and I didn't buy those. But I am hoping to get. There's one that was in the second box set. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get the classical one when it becomes available, just for the collection. And then he had one where he's live in New York around 82, 83, and that's where all the nylon curtain stuff is. So I'd like to get that one. Let's see, Neil Young, Hendrix, Zappa. Yeah. Yep. Zappa too. Yep. Yeah, they do. They give a crap. Now I'm surprised. Like Neil Young, it's interesting to me. I have two things to say about that, but sometimes you get it like in those nice poly sleeves, right? And then sometimes you get it in just paper. So I wonder what. I don't know. And I know people that just keep their stuff in the paper and it doesn't matter. But there's like inconsistency there. And I usually change it to a poly sleeve. But yeah, I'd say the majority, if not all, of his releases are, yeah, really good sound quality. Hendrix, yep. There's a Hendrix I got recently. Well, I got the Electric Ladyland stuff. This one. Yeah, the Electric Ladyland Hendrix Vision. This one, but I picked it up on CD, and the only reason I picked it up on CD was because I really don't want to listen to an album with a bunch of outtakes. That's not what I'm into albums for. So anything like that, I get on CD, and this is really good just to listen to and hear the banter in the studio and everything. So that's why. The only thing I didn't like was they kind of went cheap on this, kind of like the Maui one. My Maui box is a mess, and it's over there and hardly been played, but I don't really like how they did this. But it's a nice presentation, except for that. It's not, I don't know if you can see it, but it's not flat. It's kind of awkward, but yeah, this I can put on and just hearing Hendrix going, no man, it's do or whatever, just him improvising and having a vision in his head. Oh, okay. I have, okay, so Sleeps with Angels, I'm going to end up getting it anyway because I'm pretty much, I have, it's ridiculous how many Neil Young albums I have. I didn't really like the album. There's just something about it didn't work. But I got it's like I don't really call it a bootleg. What? I'm live. What? What's there? Is she all right? What? Okay. Well, I might have to end this. We have a little family thing here. So sorry, guys. But I will talk to you later. Bye.